Hi guys, and welcome to a new edition of Our Life with John Bogdan. Today we are talking about goals and objectives because we took that trip to Austin just for this topic. So it's time to share with you all what we have done.
We do that every year. We take we find that it really helps, at least it helps me, to get away from the house and the studio and anything that could kind of interrupt with the process and just kind of isolate ourselves. We went to Mexico, we've been to the beach, we've done different things over the years. And this year we went to Austin. And I think it really helps the process to spend some dedicated time kind of strategizing. And this year in particular, it was a little bit bigger because we have some extra stuff to add. So yeah, let's take a look and see where we went.
So if you like what you've seen today, subscribe, like, and hit that notification button.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm John, and this is Bogdan. Join us on our journey as we figure out how to earn a living as artists, introduce you to those we meet, and share what we learn along the way.
We are on our way to Austin.
Yes, we get together every year and we take a trip and do our goals and objectives someplace other than the studio or other than home so that there's fewer distractions. So we're on our annual goals and objectives retreat and we'll take you along with us.
I don't know what distracts us home. It's only the cat.
Well, it's the cat and laundry and the neighbors and all the other things that can keep us from concentrating just on getting the product done.
All right, so let's show the road for those who don't know where Austin is.
Heading to Austin. Do we want to undertake archetypal or Romania?
Sure.
There might not be a lot.
It
but
not be a lot, but we can't start from up here. You know, we have to visualize it first. So we are in and out, trying to find our place here. It's kind of a chilly, rainy day.
So we're here in Austin. We've been here since last night, and we've been working on our goals and objectives for this year, not only for our art businesses, which is probably the primary concern for us, but we're also looking at opening the new nonprofit, Archetypal Arte, in Romania, and a Romanian business that we've established. So we're doing kind of a bigger goals and objectives session than we've ever done before, because we're not only doing one business, we're now doing three. So it's been a lot of work. I think we're pretty much done. So what do you think? Are you pleased with the process? Are you happy with where we are?
I guess it's all visualizing right now.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I mean, that's kind of the point, right? We have to kind of imagine what the year will be. Obviously, we may make changes to this. In fact, I'm pretty sure we will.
And it's good because we have plenty of experience over these last 7 years of doing business, and I think creating these goals and mission statement, it's always hard at the beginning because
it's easier now, isn't it?
You don't have the experience. You always look on what would others say and do, and you try to adapt. And now, as we know who actually are, and we know what we do, it's easier for us to understand now what should prioritize for this next year,
right?
And where should look, which direction should look.
And obviously, we have gotten better at getting honing in on what's more important and what's more useful in our daily running of a business. But I mean, the important part to me is that we can always change these. We can come up with great ideas, and if they don't pan out, who cares? They're our goals and objectives. We can use them as we choose. And if we fail, it doesn't mean that we failed as people or as business. It just means that the goal wasn't fine-tuned enough, or maybe it was inappropriate and we needed to change it. So
And
I'm looking forward.
it quite happened.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, this is the
yeah.
first time in 7 years we really shift everything because we expanded the art business now, and we had to kind of reshape our trajectory.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited, and I do think it gives us direction going forward this year, and I think it will also give us inspiration as to where we thought we should go. I mean, we just looked back at our mission statement from 2015, and there was actually a component that said we would be setting up a business in Romania, and sure enough, we did that. And I don't think we looked back at that 2015 goal and objective since, and yet we're still on track. So, yeah, good on us.
Let's go explore a little Austin and take a break of this business.
And we'll look at it later today, and it might look a little bit different. So, giving it a few hours might be helpful.
Yeah, once you restart rewriting everything down and all the notes, make sense out of all these notes we put together, there would be fine tunes as well.
Yeah, because you actually start to think about what you talked about. So yeah, good moves.
So goal 1 is the production plan.
Yes.
And that means create adequate and marketable art.
What we tried to do this year is create goals that would be more meaningful to us as we went forward. And so we created these 5 kind of plans that we need to create during the year. And the first one, the production plan, is really a way of planning out, are we creating enough art that we can sell over the span of the year? And so the objectives are based around that particular goal.
You know, I always create stuff, and yet I have this back thought always in my mind. What if one day a bunch of people show up in the studio and buys half of it? I would have nothing left. So I always have to have a plan. So I never thought of it until this time, that we need to have a plan of creating, of selling, and stay organized, because and tracking the projects.
Right.
How much do we create? How much time do we put in a project? What do we need to put in a project? Because they're paint, they're canvases, they're printing, photography. I mean, you name it.
And the whole idea is that we should be planning out our year. So, for example, if we're going to go to a fair in April, are we working toward that? Are we building up enough? If we're going to have a joint exhibition, we talked about that this year, that are we building toward that collection so that we're not just putting up what happens to be in the studio. We're thinking strategically about producing the right art and adequate art for whatever projects we have going forward.
You know, I talked with an artist the other day in the studio, at the studios, because I never thought of tracking this way a project. I was just creating, and I know that when I create, I come up with this idea, and I said, oh, I can make a series out of it.
Exactly.
But I don't have a plan for that until that moment.
And there are also times when we get really, really busy. And when you get really busy and stressed and we're doing other things that are also very important, you tend to kind of say, I'll put the productivity of art on the side. Or you say, I've got so much inventory, I'm going to back off for a while. And I don't think that's the right answer. So having this kind of production plan would, I think, help us create work, sustainable work, all year long. And that's what we're trying to
achieve. And you guys,
achieve.
if you are an artist out there and watch this video, and you have a plan for the production setup, do share with us your thoughts of it and how you organize yourself.
Absolutely. This will be a real learning curve for us because we haven't done it before. But the second goal is our prospecting plan, and that's how do we expand our list of collectors and potential collectors, and
for that is the various things this year. We have tried in the past, maybe without a certain direct plan.
Exactly.
We just envision to organize these monthly events in our studio, but really they were great, and we had a lot of people for the very first part of all these events, but then people kind of start to fade away.
Well, also when people buy your art, at some point they've got your art.
Yeah.
And so they're not buying more necessarily. They're great and supportive, but we need to be building that list so that we're reaching out to new people we haven't met yet, and still appreciating the people who we are in contact with and the referrals that they give us. But we should also be building our own lists in addition to that. So that should be quite an interesting exercise.
In addition of exhibitions we might have around this year, we thought of one of the goals to extend the collectors and be part of have them be part of our life.
Yes.
It's organize quarterly events in the studio, and that they can bring any collectors friends, art lovers friends. That would be fantastic. And this is how you really extend to other collectors, new collectors.
And also to be present at other art events around town.
Correct.
To be a part of the art scene. And we've done that. COVID came along. That really got complicated things. We also live pretty far away from Houston, which kind of separates us from a lot of the activities as
But
well.
it was a lot of, kind of slow time, and that put us in a very weird curve. So
Yeah.
we have to adjust. We moved studios, and there was a lot of things going on during this time. But it's time now to break that in and reach to other events.
And probably one of the most important things that we need to do on purpose, and we do it, but we need to do it, more with a plan, is to show appreciation to the people who already collect us.
Mm-hmm.
How are we keeping in contact with the people who have supported us, and we just want to show our appreciation.
And I
we
know
need
that-
to be able to track what we're doing.
I'm kind of shy because I haven't been in this sales business, and I feel like, just calling you, the collector, all the time and checking on you, I feel like I don't want to disturb you. I know
Right.
who you are. My life is basically online. I have no
Okay.
secrets right these days, and everything I do, it's out there, and I feel like they have enough from me, so I don't want to bother them. But I think I learned that that's not enough. They want a personal. So if you guys out there like us, a personal note, just a checkup for once in a while with them.
Not about sales, right?
Not about sales. That has nothing to do with sales.
Just about appreciation and keeping those contacts fresh. Number 3 was our profit plan, and this is really, I think, important to us. We need to be able to track how we're going to increase the money that we're making. We're doing okay. We need to be doing better to be more sustainable. Art market tends to go up and down, and
I see a
we're out of a valley right now, but
Well, from my point of view and what I observe, it's at the end of the year and at the beginning of the year, it's kind of a very slow process and kind of picking up again these days,
Yeah, it's
which
good.
is fantastic. But one of the things is, always update your pricing list.
oh yeah, we need to update our prices.
Because
yeah.
what you guys don't know, if you are a collector out there or art lovers, canvases has changed prices. Now the wood has changed
Frames.
price, and that is framing and that is stretching bars. All those are huge expenses.
And I haven't raised my prices since well before the pandemic. And obviously my expenses have gone up and things are harder to get. So we are raising prices this year.
Now we have websites. The websites went up.
Yes, absolutely.
There's like almost double. I'm in shock, but we have to keep it up because you can't survive with a website, right?
Now we've been running this business since 2015, and I don't know how to do the math that quickly in my head. We've been doing this for a number of years, and you also end up having all kinds of expenses that don't really make sense anymore.
Yeah,
Things that
yeah,
we subscribe to, things that we purchase and we don't need. There are some places we could probably make cuts, and I think that's important to look at as well.
And I try to manage all these applications and software
Right.
that I don't really use. I use them for a while, or I try them in various projects and I keep paying for. So I think I kind of cleaned up all these extra expenses that I don't need. I can survive without them, but we'll see. I'm sure there's some others there that I can't even think of.
Yes, exactly.
So goal number 4 is just as important as any other goal, is the marketing plan, and how do you market yourself?
Hugely
How do you
important.
market your art? How do you market your individual piece of art? And what else? How do you market in general the whole you as a brand?
Yeah, and marketing obviously is hugely important and probably the biggest problem that we have. But it's important to note that marketing has various components. One important part of marketing is sales, and to throw a bunch of money and time and effort into marketing without trying to turn that marketing into sales is pointless.
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah.
well, I suppose it could raise your
And I tried
visibility.
before. I was there. I spent not a lot of money, some hundreds of dollars, because I didn't have a plan, you know?
Right, and you're just kind of fishing, and a lot of people out there willing to take your money and give you kind of false hope and products that don't really work that well. But it's really, really important to me that we not only emphasize the marketing, but how we're turning that marketing into sales and tracking that so that we're working smarter and improving our income.
And how do you market your art? Well, there are various ways, either ads, online ads, or it's very good to go to art fairs to have some exposure, to go off-site, to expose your art, a series of body of works somewhere else other than your bubble, because you need to expand, and people, this is how people get to know you.
Absolutely, and I say again, I think for most artists, the biggest problem they have is a marketing problem, and I just think that that's something that needs a whole lot of attention on purpose.
Now we have a variety of online shows. It's an art chat, it's a vlog, it's a podcast, it's a blog, and we are trying to make up stories and to be present, in this world, so that people know that we are human, and this is who is John, and this is how Bogdan looks like, and he has an accent, by the way. Did you notice that? And me, yeah. And then there are yes, you can pay for marketing, but there are other free options you can take advantage of.
The fifth goal we had is our productivity plan, and that is different from the production plan in this is how we actually develop processes to become more efficient at what we do. And that might be tracking our spending more closely, figuring out, are there things that we're doing now that would benefit from automating? Are there things that we could say, wow, if we would only spend a little bit of money here, we could really streamline this whole process or understand it better. Maybe there are people that we could hire to do parts of, obviously we're hiring accountants, and that is an absolute lifeline for us because I couldn't possibly handle all that by myself. I don't have the interest and the skills.
Our business has complicated in a way because we have the Buburuza production, which is the video company with commercial photography, and then we have John Bogdan Fine Arts, and I have Bogdan Photo Art, part of the same compound. So somebody has to manage this. This is not time for you to do research on marketing, but then next hour you have to switch to accounting. There's no way.
So anything we can do to become more efficient and more productive, that is what that goal is stressing.
So basically, get help.
If you need help, get help, and if you can afford it. But only get help if it helps. You know what I mean? Don't
spend money.
Don't just throw your money at people who are going to take advantage of you. And so those are like the 5 plans, the kind of pillars that we need to build off of. And the 6th one is important as I think can be, is the professional development bit.
We all have
What do we need to learn that we don't know?
We all have to stay on top of things, right? So it's always something new to learn. Now, artistically, I keep reaching the YouTube channels and learn little things. Now, hands-on, I have this opportunity to live in a building with 60 other artists. And that helped me tremendously to understand art process.
You're not just flying blind. You have those other, that kind of art community that supports you. And I think that's tremendously important. Also, there's coursework. You mentioned
Yes.
things on YouTube. There's Skillshare. There's Coursera. Any number of other communities where you can actually go in and just spend some time learning. And maybe it's as simple as just watching other YouTube videos to help you learn what other people are doing to make their businesses go
And
better.
nowadays there are a lot of your love. Instagram tutorials about a variety of art processes.
I was listening to a podcast just this week, and I found some really, really good advice and some very, very inspirational moments during that podcast. And I just went and ordered his book, and so I'll be getting that next week. And so whatever you have to do to kind of fill those gaps in knowledge and move yourself forward is really important as well. Last goal, which is brand new for us. We just got
It's
word.
so new that it blocks me.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to. That's part of the process, right? So we have applied for a nonprofit, open a nonprofit corporation, which we have done. We got the paperwork just last week, so we actually have our own nonprofit company,
Which is called
Archetypal Arte,
which is the meanings the art wing.
Wings. Yes, Bubarusa Productions is our main company. The ladybug, and it has wings, and so now artists can take flight. So the whole idea is to create a business that will, number one, assist Romanian artists and who really need more support than they can find. Here in this country, you get lots of opportunities for support. In a smaller country like that, much more limited.
Yeah, I mean it's harder to. A lot of money goes to big cities, and
Right.
maybe we need to focus for a small cities. But that's part of the process.
That's part of the process,
It's not
right.
time for that right now.
Right, and so we have this Romanian company that we set up this year. We now have a nonprofit. We now can then apply for tax-free status and get that 501c3 status for our new nonprofit company. So there's a whole lot of goals and objectives around that this year, which will take a lot of our time. And part of the beauty of this process is because we're starting something new that can be huge as far as time and learning and all the things it needs. But these other goals and objectives will keep us from forgetting about all the other stuff because we have to give it attention as well. So that's kind of where we are. It's exciting. I know it's the beginning of the year, and these things always look great at the beginning of the year. But I do think it gives us a pretty sound basis for facing the year
But
ahead.
I think the goal is to, with this NGO, is to get like baby steps on the very beginning,
absolutely.
so we don't get confused and
We want to do it right.
completely out of focus, leave the art
Precisely.
side completely gone because now we focus on this.
Because this is absolutely can be a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it-
marvelous.
It has to be small and it has to be done right.
Yeah. So what are you doing for your company, for your small business, for your art business? How are you planning your year out? We'd love to have that conversation with you. So please put comments down, contact us. We'd love to chat and have that
And share
have that
your
interaction.
ideas, yeah.
Because and by the way, if there's anything that we have just outlined that you think is a terrible idea and you have experience to help us kind of avoid some mistakes, let us know. We'd be
And
delighted
if you
to hear
are,
it.
and if you are out there like in a big company that do help NGOs and non-profits, please reach to us.
Yeah.
We'd like to share with you our thoughts and how can make this non-profit successful.
Absolutely. So that's what we've been up to. Hope you're having a great week yourselves. Stay creative, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.